Hello, successionaires. I'm your host, Professor William Murry, President of the Millionaire Mastermind Institute. Welcome to the show, The Road to Success. It's a roadmap or GPS to get you where you want to go, from idea to implementation and beyond. It's a show full of information, guests, and just plain old know-how. Have your pen and paper ready. You're really going to need it. I have a fantastic guest today, Ms. Priscilla Lee, coming back. We'll be right back.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest, and then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
I can't button up a shirt. I can't run.
I've had to learn to swallow again.
That's the only moments that I have. And I'm 33, so I never see this coming.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Had I done this, had I done that.
Hell, I messed up.
Get back on your plan, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Head to toe, everything's changed. Head to toe.
Welcome back, successionaires. You know, I am honored to have my next guest. Miss Priscilla Lee is the CEO and founder of P&L Acquisition Services, LLC. P&L Acquisition Services provides services for entrepreneurs and future entrepreneurs in the processing of registration and certification applications for federal, state, local, government, and other needed documents. Ms. Lee was a government employee for 42 years at the Department of Veteran Affairs, the VA, as a contracting officer. Welcome to the show, The Road to Success, and thank you for giving me the honor of you being my guest.
No, thank you, Mr. Murray. I was so excited I tried to write down all of my sentiments so I can make sure that I don't miss anything, but I don't know, because this field is a field that you have to have patience to continue as you start that process.
Yes. Well, tell us a little bit about, we're going to let you give us the things that you need, but tell us about what it is that you do.
What I do, I will assist an individual or a company that is trying to get their business started, and especially doing contracting with the federal government, state government, which is Maryland Department of Transportation, MDOT, and Prince George's County.
Oh, and two, you don't have to, you can have a business and want to get government contracting, and they still come to you, am I correct?
Yes.
Because this is helping them do all the paperwork needed and documents needed so you can get these $1 million contracts, if you like, anywhere, like say, 2,500, you've done up to 700. Some people want $700 million contracts.
But remember, it is a process.
Yes.
It's not something that a new company would say, I want to get a government contract or a state contract or a local contract. It is a process that you have to do in order to obtain that. Even if you are a business that have already started and you want to get government contracts, it's a requirement. There are steps.
But one thing about it that I think that it's a timely
It is. It's
It's
very
not going to happen overnight.
time consuming. That's why you have so many companies that pay money for, I'm going to call them procurement advisors, because once you get in that arena, you start pulling your hair out.
You know, the best thing I did, because, you know, I was trying to get I went on to SAMS.gov to get my, I couldn't do it. It was questions they asked me, I didn't understand.
Right.
I didn't know how to answer.
Right.
And so the best thing I did was in meeting you and knowing what you've done. You already done 42 years doing this in the government. Mm-hmm. And then when you retired, you started your company, P&L Acquisition Services. Tell us some of the things that we need.
Okay, first thing I will stress, please make sure you have your finances in order. Because as you go through this process, it's like a domino effect. Mm-hmm. Everything like trickle down, and everything is connected. Your finances, okay, you have your finances in order. The next thing you would do, you would define your product or services. What products or services are you providing for your customers?
Okay.
The next thing you would have to define is knowing. You need to know if your business will be LLC, which is limited liability company, or corporation, etc.
So you need to know whether or not you're going to be, because you got to know the difference between
Yes.
LLC, a corporation, or there are several others that
Yes.
you can file for.
Yes.
But you got to know which one you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
and which one you can qualify for the best.
Right,
Get
right.
what you want to start the
Right.
process of your paperwork
Mm-hmm.
for your SAMS.gov.
That's just one element.
I mean-
a little element. The next part of this element is knowing your NAICS code, which is
Now-
the North American Industry Classification System.
Okay.
It's a 6-digit number that allows the government to determine your eligibility.
Now, see, when I'm telling the public that the best thing I did was when I hired you to take care of this, and I walked away.
Because once you can even Google this stuff, but once you Google it and said, what in the world am I supposed to do now?
I had never heard of a NAICS code.
Yeah, you have to have it.
I had never heard of it. I didn't, seriously, people, I'm telling you, public, please listen to what I'm telling you. This is above a layman. To do this for government, it is above a layman. You have to get an expert.
And you even need it when you are applying for contracting with the state or even Prince George's.
Yes.
Everything fits like a glove, okay? You have to know your product service code. That's a 4-digit number that describes the different types of products or services purchased by the government. Again, back to the NAICS code. That's connected, okay? You need to know your size standard. That will be the number of employees or annual receipts. Again, they're all tying there together. You got to know this. You cannot go into SAMS without having all of this information. You got to have it.
And you know, one thing that we said that people got, and we go push this and emphasize them up, it's time.
It's time consuming.
It's not going to happen overnight, y'all. 'Cause
No.
I'm looking at, the stuff that she did for me, I was 1.5 years, and I was still just on page 3. I'm talking about my folder now has got to be over 1/2 inch thick with documents, because every time you fill out something, they go send you something else until you get that first step right.
That's the
And if you don't
bottleneck.
get that first step right, you can't go no further. Well, I had never heard of a NAICS code. I didn't know nothing about no product service code. I knew none of this. And I'm thinking, okay, I've been doing this in business for years, but they changed the rules in how to acquire these contracts.
Oh yeah, the government, they do. They
Yeah.
do. And you have to keep up with it. That's why, again, I stress, that's why some companies or individuals hire these procurement advisors, because they don't want to have to go and do all of that. Then you have to know your tax information, which is the taxpayer identification number, TIN number or your employee's identification number.
Yes.
Okay?
Now,
Do not, and I
that's
know
it.
that's what you're going to say.
Yes,
I've heard it on your
yes.
show.
This I am
Do
very
not.
adamant on.
Do not. Okay, you got all of this.
But wait a minute, let me tell them what you do not do. I'm telling you, if when you go in and do your, like the first thing you said, you got to know your finances and your
got to.
banking.
Yes.
You must have an EIN number, which is your business tax number. Do not, and I emphasize very strongly, do not use your Social Security number on your business account for your business. Do not use your Social Security number. Your EIN number, your tax number that the IRS gives you
Right.
is your Social Security number for your business, which separates you. So if something happened when you incorporate or your LLC or the S corp, whatever
Right.
you do, never use your Social Security number anytime. You use your Social Security number. It is personal. But when your tax ID number, that is your Social Security number for your
Right.
business. And you know, I stress that so much because people lose so much because they use their Social Security number for their business, and you don't never do that. That is a big, 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 big no-no.
Right.
And I learned that, so I'm just stressing my mistakes so they won't make them.
So when
Continue on,
you
Ms.
go
Lee.
into DUNS to get a DUNS number, you have to have all of this information, especially your NAICS code, your product service codes, your size standard, and your tax number. You got to have it.
Yeah, now you said Dunn's number. Now
That's
layman-
Dun and Bradstreet.
That's Dun and Bradstreet.
Dun
Now,
and Bradstreet.
What is Dun and Bradstreet?
It's like a credit report for the government. When, for an example,
For your business, but it's for your business.
For
It's
your business.
Yeah,
Your business.
Your personal credit score and your business credit score are two different
are
things.
two different things.
Because you go.
Let me give you an example of the
Okay.
DUNS. You have to have that number in order to go into SAMS, which is the System for Award Management.
Okay.
I receive a proposal from you.
Okay.
And first thing I will do, number one, is to check to see if you're registered in SAMS.
Okay.
Okay. If you're not registered in SAMS, then I can't use your proposal.
Right.
Because what that does is SAMS will let me, as the contracting officer, know that your company is a risk, moderate, or high based on their research on your company.
Okay.
That's why every business must have a DUNS number.
Because a Dunn's number is your business credit score.
They will use it.
You're right there using
Yes,
it. Because
yes.
your personal credit score doesn't mean
No,
nothing.
no,
So
no.
because I remember
But-
when I had my clothing stores, my credit score when I first got into my business of my clothing stores wasn't up to par what it should have been. But I had $250,000 worth of credit through my Duns. I would go to New York when I had my 3 clothing stores and my clothing line. I would go to New York and I might come back with $30,000 in inventory. I just went to the wholesalers, the distributors, and gave my DUNS number, and they pulled it up and see that I had credit, and I paid on time, you know, for my credit, and I could walk away with merchandise.
Okay.
So that's very important.
And all of this information that we've discussed goes into the SAMS application.
Okay.
All of it. They want to know your business legal name, your start date, your tax numbers, TIN or EIN number, your NAICS code, your product service code number, whether you're a large or small business. The same information is also used when you're utilizing the application or want to fill out an application for the state, MDOT, or Prince George's County. Only difference with that is that they have a documents checklist sheet that help you to develop what are the documents that are needed.
Okay, now, something that we didn't mention that you advised, because you did it for me, got me certified, because you got to be certified, am I correct? What is
Certified
the state certification or
Oh,
or the
okay.
county certification? What is,
You're talking about the taxation.
Yeah, because you know you got to go get this, the bid, you got to be certified. Because I just went through my MDOT. Remember, I had to go to the meeting to get my final certification for the state.
Okay. I'm assuming you're talking about the annual personal property return taxation.
Yeah. Well, when I went, remember I had to get the because they tell you to get certified. You know, we've been going to the class. I've been going, and to get certified, where you got to get county certified and state certified.
Right.
Which state is better, but you got to get, the best things to be both.
Oh yeah, that's with your MDOT.
Right.
Right.
Where you can bid for contracts.
Where you can really go on their site and look to see if that service, that particular requirement, fits your requirement.
Right. Fits
What
I
you're
do.
doing.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And I would say some of the benefits in doing business with the government is that you know you're going to get paid. Okay.
You know something that I
You know you're going to get paid. Once you set that payment history up with your agency that you are procuring with, you're going to get paid. And there's a strength to the company, because anytime you go to your bank and they see that you have a government agency, you good to go.
And you know one thing that President Obama did when he was in office that really, really stood out for us business people is the government must now pay you within 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
It can't be no 6 months
Especially
no more.
if you're a small
or
business.
you hope they'll pay you within a year. Right now, they got to pay you within 30 days, which is great because a lot of small businesses went out of business because they work for the government. Then they had to wait 6 months, 8 months, a year to get their money. Well, who can survive that working when you're working for free? You will get the check, but now you get it within 30 days.
Right. And another benefit in doing business with the government, you have your socioeconomic programs,
Yes.
which gear towards service-disabled veterans,
Oh, yeah.
veteran-owned small businesses, minority-owned, woman-owned, and the government strive to give dollars to these individual programs. It's a must, and I know when I was working at VA, that was a must for us.
Well, you were there in the Veterans Administration, so I know you know about
Yeah,
how to
we
do
had
things,
to
especially
meet
for the veterans.
those socioeconomic goals. We had to. And another benefit is subcontracting opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
So if you are a
Yeah.
small business that does not have all of the expertise, the finances, especially if the government is releasing a requirement that's full and open, what that means is that everyone can bid on it, but you as a small business does not have the capital or whatever. So there is a clause in that solicitation that will allow you to partner or become a subcontractor for a large business. They are the prime, you would be the sub.
Now, let's explain that more, y'all, because like I said, she's educated me, so I'm testing what I know, okay? If you make a bid for a contract, and let's say the bid is $10 million, and I don't win it.
Are you the prime?
Yeah, I filled out to get the $10 million contract, but I didn't get it.
Okay.
But I also qualified to be a subcontractor. Now, the person who won that contract has got to fill that contract. And I can be a subcontractor to the main contract winner. And they might say, well, we need your expertise in this field of this contract we won, and we'll pay you $3 million. So because you didn't win the big contract, doesn't mean you can't be a subcontractor for the person who won the big contract. So you may not have won the big contract of $10 million, but he'll come back to you and say, I need you to do this part of that contract I won. Here's $3 million. So it's a win-win situation in a lot of the cases. Am I correct on that?
It's a win-win situation, especially, again, I make sure I understand what you're saying, Mr. Murray, that a small business need to network.
Yes.
To know if John Doe out there has a large business and he has to fill those subcontracting goals.
Right.
So yes, you could become one of his subcontractors.
Because, you know, people don't realize you're a subcontractor to the government. Because the government, everything you see the government does is contracted. They don't, you know what the government does? All the government does is govern. When you see something getting done, it's a subcontractor.
And most, especially
yes.
if it's a large business.
Yes.
Yes.
And people don't realize, you know, that that's not the government. That's a subcontractor the government's hired.
And then you have another benefit with the government is joint ventures,
Yes.
which allow two small businesses to combine their expertise.
I just saw a program on BET, and what's his name? A few years ago, Mayor Maynard
Not familiar.
of Atlanta. Well, what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a break here, and we'll be back. So, Ms. Lee, I'm gonna bring you back after the break because I want to talk about how you can not be big enough but still be big enough.
As long as you have the patience.
Yes, we'll be right back in a moment.
I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. And even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, Maria, and she convinced me to continue my education. Just never judges. She's a true role model.
From the depths of my heart, I thank you, Maria, for being a friend and a beautiful person. No one receives a diploma alone, and I'm honored to share this moment with you. Thank you.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back, successionaires, to the show, The Road to Success. I'm here with still here with my special guest, Ms. Priscilla Lee, the founder and CEO of P&L Acquisition Services, LLC. And we're talking about the paperwork and how the government contracting. And we were talking about subcontracts and joint ventures. And during the break, we did a little thing. We talked about how that my company may not be big enough, quite big enough, because the mayor of Atlanta was Mayor Maynard Jackson, who didn't have, they kept saying, well, you don't have no one big enough. You don't have no one big enough to do the contract of all the concrete they had to lay for that airport in Atlanta, which is the second largest airport in the country. He says, yes, we don't, maybe no one doesn't, but we can get 5 of them jointly, because each of them know how to do a driveway. Each of them can do a street. So we can put them together, and so he put all these small businesses together, and all those small businesses laid the concrete for that huge airport. Well, that's what you call joint ventures.
Joint ventures, yes.
So because you aren't large enough, don't mean that you can't merge with someone else to make you large enough to be part of that contract.
True. And the government have all of these incentives, like your subcontracting opportunities, the joint ventures, which allow your small businesses, even your veteran-owned small businesses, woman-owned, whomever, to get a piece of the pie. That's the benefit.
That's the benefit. So, you know, and y'all, you got to realize everything's going to take patience. This is not, we keep saying it's overnight. Patience, patience, patience. But you can't give up. I worked on mine for over 2 years, close to 2.5 years. And I'm finally getting all my documentation where now I can bid on these big contracts. And that's what I'm starting to do.
But I don't want individuals to feel or think, oh, I can get a government contract. No, you can't. You can't just get a government contract. You have to go through the tedious process of knowing these codes that you have to get, how to search these codes, how to apply these codes, because everything fits together like a glove.
That's why every time and when you fill out a document and send it in, trust me, they're going to send you, I told you my folder right now is about a 1/2 inch thick. I couldn't have done that. I would not have be where I am now were it not for you. And I can't thank you enough for what you did for the Millionaire Mastermind Institute.
It's because it's my forte, and the reason that is, when I was working, I was on the other side of the table. You submitted a proposal. You did not have your DUNS number. No, you were not registered in SAMS.
Right.
So I will have to return your proposal and say, Mr. Murray, I cannot review your proposal. You're not registered in SAM. We don't have the time to educate you as the contracting officer. I have all these bids I have to review, bids/proposals, whatever word you want to use. And so I want to be able to hold your hand, when I say your hand, an individual hand or a company's hand, because I wasn't able to do that when I was working.
Ms. Lee, you know, I'm going to let you give the number over the air, how people can reach you, because right now people are saying, I might as well call her to find out what's what. So what's the number to reach you?
My number is 301-541-0272.
Do that again.
Again, 301-541-0272.
Now, y'all, you got to real understand something, and this is from me as one of her clients. I would not be where I am having what I have. I want to be, I can be for that $700 million contract now because of this lady. I would love to get a $700 million contract. Then I'd hire half the county.
Yeah.
But this lady gave me that I can do now because she did my paperwork for me.
This is just to,
she did it
this is just to get into the weeds. You're not really deep in the weeds.
And she did all that for me.
Excuse me.
I gave it to her and I walked away. Every time they sent me information, I forward it right to her. I look at it and pass it on to her. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, and I hope we helped you. I know you got notes galore if you were smart enough to take notes. This is William Murry, President Millionaire Mastermind and the host of The Road to Success. And I'm telling you, thank you until next time, and keep working on your road to success. Until next time.
$145 over $92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. And then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
I can't button up a shirt. I can't run.
I've had to learn to swallow again.
That's the only moments that I have. And I'm 33, so I never see this coming.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Had I done this, had I done that.
Hell, I messed up.
Get back on your plan, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Head to toe, everything's changed. Head to toe.
Let me tell you about the toughest guy on earth. He does the work of 2 jobs, but only gets paid for one. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Drowning takes too many young lives.
But it's totally preventable.
Swim lessons!
Studies show that lessons reduce that risk by 88%.
Go to usaswimmingfoundation.org and enroll your child today.
Because of you, I feel not alone in this world. And you let me know that it only takes one person to make you feel wanted.